All right, well, we're coming up to the top of the hour here, just about 9 a.m. And so far, well, no trades for me. Just sitting tight. Haven't seen anything yet that looked interesting. So, leading gapper AIMD, it's up 46% now. It was up 50% just a moment ago. This one had a nice move early around 710, squeezed up to a high of 223. Is it around $2 now? It's a little bit of a cheaper stock, obviously. It does have a gap on the daily chart from about 375 up to 10. So that's interesting. But we're well below that. So, I don't know that we're going to get any clean opportunities on that one, but we'll keep it on watch for a possibility. FXLV, 37 million share float, popped up on this sort of algo spike here from 224 all the way to 377. That's a nice spike. Retraced, came back up, back down a little bit. It's holding up relatively well, but I'm not sure whether or not it's going to be something I'm going to go for either because the float's a little higher. So, it's already shown a bit of choppiness. It has to reclaim the top of that wick to really look good. So, yeah, that's probably an issue there. So that one's off my radar for now. SPRC, 3.5 million share float. 81 cents, too cheap. What was that? SAI was jumped up but then came back down. Probably some ADFN order. AIMD, LITM, this one popped up but pulled back. So you'll see a bit of a trend here where we're seeing some stocks popping up and then dropping down, popping up and then dropping down. So this is probably a day to try to get in quick, get a quick base hit, and take the profit. Not overstay your welcome. Probably not, at least looking so far, like a day to be aggressive and to try to scale up in a big way. One of the things I remind myself of is that it only takes one. It only takes one stock that starts opening up to give us some good opportunities. So I just sometimes have to be patient and wait for that one opportunity. JVA, yeah, it's running into the 200 moving average. It's also easy to borrow, which is interesting because the float is pretty low on it. But it's a stock that's been around for a long time. It's been beaten up for a long time. And so I guess market makers, I guess clearing firms are okay with having it be easy to borrow. PSHG News, agreement to acquire a vessel, but it's a cheap stock, 24 cents. LRE, let me check. This was supposed to IPO and then it didn't. And I think it when I checked yesterday, the IPO calendar, it wasn't on the IPO calendar anymore. So let's just check. Right. So this one has Network One Financial Securities as their underwriter or book runner, it says. 2 million shares between 12 and 15. Let's see. So IPO date expected today for these two. This is a 3 million share IPO. So yeah, they don't, it seems like, I mean, unless maybe it's been pushed to October. No, they haven't updated that yet. Okay, so September, so LASE IPO today. Uh, company address Orlando. Shares 7.8. Laser cleaning equipment. I don't know that that's going to be, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't have the things that that others sort of had, going for them. It's not a recent, it's not a Chinese stock. It doesn't have that same underwriter. So I don't know. INM popped up to 850, dropped back down here to 635. You're about $1 a share below VWAP, 75 cents below VWAP. So there's a possible dip off of 635 for the curl back up, but that's a bit riskier. Network One Financial was the underwriter for these big IPOs. Their IPOs have been averaging 2,200%. JVA, yep, total rejection. Big spread on INM there, 640 by 695. AIKI? Well, 750 is a 200 moving average. So we're a little underneath that important level right now. LICN. So that's a Chinese company. Offered 6.25 million shares in the IPO. LITM back through the highs. I'll keep LICN on a side chart, but I don't know. The thing with the IPOs is that they're later in the morning. They're not obviously not pre-market. Later in the morning, and you have to wait around them sometimes for a while. So if I don't have any good trades early, I'm not going to sit and wait till 11 o'clock to take my first trade. If I have a cushion, well, then maybe I will, but I'll need to get a cushion first. 19,000 share seller on LITM. For TD, I was doing the hotkey of buy ask, but the problem is sometimes you have to press it a couple times as the ask is moving up because it doesn't include an offset. And then same with sell bid or join ask. It's your inability to give yourself a marketable limit order is the problem, but hotkeys are still the fastest way, even for me with TD Ameritrade. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know when LICN is going to IPO. I have no idea. I'm not sure if that's today or not. I don't see any. It's not on the calendar. So right now I'm coming up a little short on the goal that I had for the week. Daily goal is 5,000, weekly goal is 25 grand. I think I'm at about 15,000 on the week right now. So it's been for me just a little bit of a slower week, but 25,000 a week is 100,000 a month, and I'm at 125,000 on the month right now, thanks to a couple of weeks earlier in the month where I got a little bit ahead. So, those will tide me over this week where I'm a little bit behind. Right, so this is where I'm at for this week. 10,000, 15,400, 15,500 roughly. But of course, last week I was 20,000 just on Monday and then got myself up to about 30. The week before, solid. Week before that, pretty solid. Started the month with an $18,000 and $14,000 a day. So, 100 grand a month is my goal, and that means I've got to average about 25K a week, about 5K a day, but that doesn't allocate for red days. So, probably green days should be closer to 6 or 7,000 to then leave myself room for a red day. But in any case, 5,000 is an easy daily goal to remember. So that's still the daily goal. And as we come to the end of the month, I've been, pleased. We've had some good action this month. So hopefully that'll carry into next month. LITM hitting the scanners. So for those just tuning in on YouTube for the morning show, remind you as always that trading is risky. My results are not typical. You shouldn't try to blindly follow me or anyone else. And the broadcast on YouTube is slightly delayed because we have ads on the YouTube channel. So make sure you manage your risk and trade certainly in a simulator and test the strategy before you put real money on the line. Appreciate you guys on YouTube hitting the thumbs up and supporting the channel. Starter there for me on LITM at 26. I'm going to look to add at 30. There's 29, added at 29. And now let's see if we get a squeeze up to 32, 33. Small gain on it, but small gains are better than nothing. That was a 10,000 share position with a little profit at 29. So about 4 cents from 25 to add at 30 and then profit at best exit was 31, but only filled 2,700 shares there. It was a flat top breakout here through 25. New order is going to go at 232, holding smaller size now. So the fact that it's the leading gapper, of course, that gives me interest. It's a little cheaper, not my favorite, but watching for a dip off of 25. Added there at 27. Looking now for the retest of 30. Flat at 27, break-even trade. But that's fine. Was worth a try. Let's see. So two small trades there. You can certainly see how LITM is pretty thickly traded. Big offers, big buyers. 22,000 shares on the bid right now, 26. I sold on the ask on LITM for most of the position, and some of it I hit the bid because there was a bidder at 30. So a little bit of both. I was hoping maybe it would open up a little bit. Right now, about 12 minutes to the opening bell. So, yes, you can use, well, Lightspeed does accept international clients, not from all countries, though. You'd have to reach out to them directly to find out whether or not they support the country you're in. So, yeah, about 12 minutes to the opening bell, and it's definitely very slow this morning. I mean, hey, I guess $400. I mean, that's something for sure. It's 4 cents on 10,000 shares, roughly. But it's not even 10% of my daily goal. So it's very, very slow. But like I said, today's a day to be quick, hit those base hits, get in, get out. Now LITM, given it's stalled out up here, see, like I wouldn't buy that right there because at this point, it should, if it was going to go, it should have pulled away up here, you know? Now the 5 minutes extended, it's sort of struggled up here. I wouldn't, I don't know. I'm just going to have to wait. Stanley's pretty excited about his, about Brandon. I don't know what that's all about, but I guess he's got a friend named Brandon and he's just saying, you know, let's go, man. Brandon. It's funny. I don't know. He must have a good friend or something. It's a supportive friend. Super supportive. It's over on YouTube. It's been a great year if you're named Brandon. A lot of really good support, you know, people just encouraging you. But for the Karens out there, oh, it's been a bad year. It's a tough year to be named Karen. Ten minutes to the opening bell. So see how that LITM does that little false break there? That's like a classic trap. This is a little bull trap because it made a new high, but it had already shown right in here this weakness, right? You've got the MACD crossing over, longer period of going sideways. It just felt like it wasn't ready, and then it pops up, and then it reverses, and now you've got traders who are going to be stuck in that bull trap and who are going to stop out down here. You're going to have short sellers who are going to hit it down here and add to the short side for the break of that support level right there of 21. And then you're looking for a pullback down to 215. All in all, you're not talking about big ranges, you know, 10, 15 cents from the top to the bottom of this range, but it is, you know, when there's not a lot to trade, we sometimes end up scraping the bottom of the barrel and just trying to get a little something here and there. You know, $400 going into the weekend. You know, I mean, it's small gains. It is what it is. MOTS. Yep, Luris is in chat. Another person asking about Larissa, wondering how she's doing. MOTS, man, it just got wrecked yesterday. It just got totally wrecked. I don't know who had that many shares to sell, but it was a huge amount of selling. Millions and millions and millions of shares to the sell side. So, you know, sure, I suppose you could do a bounce off of it. It's a 100% retracement, though. AW, or what was it? AV, what was that? AMV from earlier in the week. I noticed this one was on the scanners earlier today, this morning. It's up 4% right now. So this is about 100% retracement also back down to 30. But given, you know, I guess in theory, this range, even though it's on really light volume, it has a lot of range. So could it curl back up? I don't know. But you never know. $42. Yesterday's high was 60. So you've got a huge range there. And maybe it will or maybe it won't. So it's one of those ones that I just sort of would say, well, side chart, maybe, you never know, sort of doubt it, but maybe. So it's on a side chart. AMV. Overall market, we're on a bear flag here on the S&P. A lot of talk about going into a recession. For what it's worth, it was the 2008 recession that in 2008, 2009 that got me starting to think about trading again. I had traded in the early 2000s, and then I started thinking about coming back to it. Even though the market was crazy and it was weak, I was having a hard time finding a regular job. So that's when I started thinking about, all right, is this the time to give the market another stab? So, this recession, we may find that it increases volatility and that we see an increase in opportunities if we do end up getting continued pullback. More people may look to enter the market to buy the dip. So Sean, I'll give you the link to Day Trade Dash. You can check it out here. So over on Day Trade Dash, you can check out my scanners, the news feed, the chat, and my audio video broadcast. It's a monthly subscription. You could do quarterly or annual, but it's a subscription. It's less expensive than being a Warrior Pro member, but it's about the same as being a Warrior Starter member. And over on Warrior side, with Starter or Pro, you get access to the tools, and you get access to the small cap chat room, which is a different chat room than the Day Trade Dash room. So the small cap room is where we have the profitable trader badges, and that's where we've got all of our students. Okay, so about 4 minutes to the opening bell. Yep, no reason to try to be a hero today. I'm not going to go out on a limb and try to, hit a home run. I'm just happy to catch a couple base hits. But yesterday, our leading gapper failed. That was disappointing. Today, LITM, it's a little on the cheaper side. 2 trades on it, very small gains, probably not worth it. So I don't know if I'll go back for that one. AIMD technically is the leading gapper right now with LITM pulling back. This one's not that interesting. Couple wild card stocks. INM had a move earlier in the week, moved earlier today as well, 640 to 850, 2 points. So that one has some potential. If it gets back over VWAP, AMV has some potential, but I don't know if these are gonna, pick up. I don't know if they'll start to open up. So if they do, I'll see it on the scans and I'll ride the momentum. And if not, today may just end up being a slow day. And Friday going into the weekend, that's fine. So manage your risk, don't overstay your welcome. And those on YouTube, I'll be back at it on Monday morning. Those on Day Trade Dash and Warrior, we're going to keep streaming here through the opening range and see if there's any more opportunities or if anything kind of rises up and proves itself as being worth trading. All right, so that's the game plan here with about 2 minutes to the opening bell. Those on YouTube, I'll put a link to a couple other videos that you guys can check out if you'd like to keep watching.